Howdy doody Capricorns, welcome to your December tarot scopes. First we're going to talk about those sweet little moons we have. The first one is a full moon on December 14th and it falls in your 6th house of everyday work, servitude, small domestic animals. It's true. But this is about release. Full moons, remember, we release. It's in Gemini too, so already it's a very communicative moon. But in the 6th house, this might be like really getting rid of the day job that no longer serves you. This really might be, because the 6th house is more about like what we do every day to make money. It's not necessarily our calling in life. But our 6th house is where we provide service. And in most cases, in exchange for money, for dough. So with this full moon, this releasing energy in Gemini, it might be time to write that resignation letter, to just say, I can't do this anymore, because you know you want to stay open for the things that you do want and that you want to do. The new moon on December 29th is in your sign of Capricorn. It's in your 1st house. Yay! How do I look? Says Capricorn. And even if you feel the need to like get out there and like change up who you are and what you look like, no. Let's talk about like sort of get a trim instead of getting your hair completely done, because like a brand new, like don't dye your hair pink because Mercury is going into retrograde. In short, we don't want to start new things. We want to work on existing things. And it also falls in Capricorn, this Mercury retrograde, and it's in your 1st house. Look at that tail. Tickle. Hi, bear. So it's in your 1st house, right? So what that really means is like you're going to be reassessing almost who you are and how you see the world. You're going to be re-envisioning the world around you and pretty much everything that you've been thinking about, just that. And it's really challenging you to step into your own authority. And I think a lot of that has to do with how you feel, how you look and how you feel and how you see things. That Mercury retrograde, Mercury retrograde's a doozy. You shouldn't stop your life because of it, but it's also like a reassessment of authority in Capricorn, which again, if you're in the States with the election, I'm not at all surprised that we're having this reassessment of authority during this Mercury retrograde. So we'll see how that all turns out. For you personally, it's just reassessing your own authority in how you see the world. It's a good time for you to reclaim, there it is, reclaim your authority. Mercury retrograde is all about re-words, R-E. So for you, it's about reclaiming your authority, right? And how do you initiate things? You have to reclaim your authority in pretty much everything you do and how you see the world, right? Where you're feeling a little, which really could co-align with the December 14th full moon where you're supposed to be releasing. It could have a lot to do with that job, the day job that you're just like, I don't really like this. Yeah, and watch out for your pet's health. Also this month, if something's wrong with that pet, you just go ahead and you take them to the vet. So let's draw some cards. There's 1, whoa, 2, 3, oh, okay, 4. Interesting. Okay, so this month, my friends, my goats, we're feeling a little emotionally unstable, but just a little. It's almost like little bursts of pouting. We're prone to pouting this month, Capricorn, which seems counterproductive because I don't think well, that's not 100% true. I was gonna say I don't think you guys are pouters, but I think you're more apt to dig your heels in than other people. And not all the signs, but Capricorns, they can be rather like, nope. And this is just stemming from emotional. So when you find yourself digging your heels in at things, ask yourself what's emotionally off balance for you. What is it that isn't jiving with your emotional body? So because when you dig your heel in, that's whenever something is imbalanced emotionally for you. Whether it's internal or whether it's something that's going on around you. You might feel this one day at work and it might be one of those like, oh God. Oh my God. So I'm just saying that it doesn't have to be at work, but with the moons in these placements, it might just work like that. And this is just letting me know that there's good flow, good energy for you with any of the choices that you make this month. And I just think you might be making a choice on what you want to do on the daily, what you want to do every day for service. You might even find out that there's you might start volunteering too. This could be like a very big time where you're like, you know, I'm going to volunteer. And if you do choose to volunteer, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a cause that you're already connected to in some way. It won't be like this brand new thing out of nowhere. You might watch for things like too in the mail that come where you're like, oh, I was just thinking I wanted to volunteer, and it might be the ability to give money, like a certain amount of money every month to an organization or something like that. Or, you know, but just look for something in the mail. I don't know. Page of Pentacles, because, well, that could be it too. Messages, right? Messages of Earth. You might even hear of like, of a new job, a new way to make money, all these things. And again, with Mercury in retrograde starting on December 19th, you don't want to, if you can avoid it, you don't necessarily want to start a new job, but it's a great time to go back to a job. Especially if you're like freelance and they're like, hey, we have some work for you, and it falls in Mercury retrograde, December 19th to January 8th. Take it. That's a great thing to do. But again, we don't want to start, really, we want to try to avoid starting new things. Nothing's going to happen if you start new things, except it won't be like you expected it to be. That's it with Mercury retrograde. When you start something in a Mercury retrograde, communication is cloudy. It just won't be what you thought it was going to be. That's it. But the good thing is for you, like your choices are and it could be good or bad, my friends. Your choices are coming around with karma faster than normal. It's almost like, you know, you lose 20, you find 20, like that. You're like, oh, or you give, it's like one of those situations where you're like, oh, I gave the guy on the corner a cup of coffee. And so therefore I actually don't have enough money right now to get this thing that I want. And then before you know it, before you even have been able to take a breath, something will happen, you'll have the money. Like, quick like that. My examples are so weird this month, and I don't know why. I don't know if it's because, I don't know. Who cares? I need a sip of tea. Who cares? Emotional instability, but that's kind of the way things are going, and I feel like you're going to be able to knock some things out of your way with that. It's so funny, your moods might really strike people, but it doesn't mean you have to change your moods. It just means you have to understand why they're happening. Because I think those moods are going to help you understand a little bit more about the things that are not working in your life right now, especially when it comes to work, to your work situation, to the service you give, you know, and are you really receiving what you deserve, right? And you'll find out pretty quickly this month by pay attention to the choices that you're making this month and see how fast they come around. Like, watch when you say something bad and watch it come around to bite you faster, and vice versa. It's just that kind of energy. There's like this boomerang, karma boomerang energy. Boomerang, karma, boomerang. And now we're gonna do the oracle card. I love these sort of, you know, these button the reading, give us a little themey. When I do readings in person, I usually give these first, but I like doing them last here. Perception. Ooh, I love that. Look at that card. I mean, I'm a performer, so that just speaks to my soul, right? But look at the success in that card. Perception. Ugh. Comedy, tragedy. Look at those masks. It's almost like a reminder to let you know that, like, nothing is actually really as real as you might think it is this month. It's all how you're perceiving it. And things can be taken so many different ways. So you have a choice this month, and I think this really co-aligns with this a little bit. This is the emo teenager card, is what I call it. It's like just emotional outbursts, a little bit poutiness. So it's really important for you to understand that your perception is really kind of what's bringing on some of this emotional that's coming. Shift your perception and watch what happens, because the energy is totally on your side to do this. You can choose the comedy, you know, the comedy or the tragedy. You have a choice, because it's all just a mask anyway. Look, it's all just a mask anyway. That's deep, right? That's deep, but it's true. It's how much of any of this world is actually real, and how much of it is just how we perceive it, the lens we see the world through. I know, that's deep. Jeez, I'm gonna go watch an episode of Black Mirror and cry myself to sleep. Thank you, Capricorn, for watching. I am so happy to have you here. Don't forget to subscribe, because then you'll get a notification like right in your inbox whenever I post these wacky videos. And also don't forget to follow me on Instagram at mysticassistant, where I post tarot cards. And finally, have a happy holiday. However you celebrate or don't celebrate. Perception, right? Am I right?